From the time that we are born, everything is done for us. Everything is said to us. Everything is fashioned out for us. How we talk, where we go, how we turn up, how we don't turn up, what to say, what not to say. I think my earliest memory of that especially is when before you go to your neighbor's house or to a friend's house, you are told that you are not to accept anything that you are given. And then, like clockwork, the neighbor will now offer you your favorite drink. Brahma Guarana, I remember. And then you react before you remember what you had been told. But these were the things that created us as human beings. And then by the time you got to university age, you were literally thrown into the deep edge. It's not as if you still weren't told what to do or what not to do, but now there were two conflicting worlds. The world that had been controlled by your environment, your parents, and now this world where they are not there, their words resonate, but then there's another tug and pull. You move into your 20s and that's where the confusion starts. Most of us don't even notice that we are confused at that point. But of recent, we have a lot more people in their 20s actually expressing confusion and doubt. And this is the birth of self-doubt. Most of us are plagued by self-doubt. And why are we plagued by self-doubt? Because there wasn't a proper transition for us from where we were told who and what to be, parents, relations, upbringing, to where we are now left on our own. So when you are even left as an adult, you're just told your life is your own. But you carry what you have been taught and told without the exploration of self. And I think I just want to touch on that a bit more before I go on to the next lesson, which will be in a couple of days, which is the reason you are doing this is for yourself. Those of you who are asking these questions, that have asked me this question, I've noticed are in your early 20s. And I'm happy that you have gotten to the point where you do realize that you probably need to take a step back, ask these questions, determine who you are before you move on. Because the next station of your life now is most likely, when you finish, is either work or you want to get married. I mean, you're in the ballpark already for it. And that is why it is important what you are doing, setting out your roadmap, cleaning out your closet, learning to forgive yourself for the mistakes, learning to forgive people for mistakes. You want to have a clean slate. You now want to look inwards and say, who am I? You asked yourself 32 questions. I hope you were able to answer them. And that's the beauty of this self-introspection, because it helps you genuinely answer the question, who am I? And so if you grew up hearing that you were a certain person, and you most likely try to fit into it a lot of the times because that was the expectation, and as so she be, you've gotten used to hearing, and that's how she is, that's how she is. This is the time for you to ask, is that how really I am? And if that's not really how I am, then who really am I? Self-doubt is crippling. And you can get out of self-doubt by taking charge. Now, nobody is telling you what to do. They've already done that all their lives. It's time for the person who owns the life to take charge of it and tell that person what you, that is you, want to do or who you should be. And I'm hoping that as you are saying who you should be on the side of good, not of bad. If you decide to even choose bad, make sure that you're very good at it. Don't confuse us. And the Bible even says it, that you should either hot or you're cold. Don't be in the middle so that we can know exactly where you stand. There's nothing sweet like knowing what side of the divide a person stands. It helps everybody, including you. So we are trying to stamp out self-doubt. And so in concluding, what have we said? Self-doubt stems from the fact that we have been told who we are, and we were talked to when we were growing up. Nothing wrong with that. Somebody had to tell you something. Number two, the gap was the bridge, saying, you know what, this is who, we who saw you thought you should be like, and you should go. But this is time for you to take over your life. Why don't you take a step back and do some introspection? That's the missing link. Nobody told us that. And so you run with what you know. Then you get to a certain place and you get confused. This is what I know. This is what they said I am. But I'm being talked and pulled in a different direction. And so good luck, as again for me, you are going over your last assignments up to this point, and then we'll get to part 6. So have a nice weekend, and thank you for listening to Mommy Gio's Pearls. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and thank you to everyone who has so far done that. You're adding to the community. God bless. Bye.